So, Mr. Kej, a lot of things yet to speak. So, but our executive chairman Rajesh Kalra would like to ask some questions. Kalra sir, good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. And thank you, Ricky. I think I was listening into some of the questions being asked. Obviously, they are very well prepared. And I came in principally to thank you for making the music and also to tell you that, what a great, thing you're doing for this nation.
Thank you so
Just
much.
had a very simple couple of questions. One of them is, India is known as the land of ragas. We've read that some of them could actually change weather patterns if rendered well. Do you think that we have influenced the world music in a way that it's being recognized because of the ragas that we have?
No, absolutely, because when it comes to Indian music academics, Indian music is so well fleshed out in terms of ragas, where you have scales which are so well defined. But more importantly than that, I've always believed that it's Indian classical musicians that are doing so much of work in spreading Indian culture and Indian traditions when it comes to music all over the world, because they're constantly breaking cultural barriers, as I'd mentioned earlier in this interview. And not only that, when it comes to younger musicians in India, there is this thought that if you want to get global recognition, then you have to play music in English, you have to play Western music, you have to basically cater to the Western audiences by playing their kind of music. But that's not true at all. Because if you look at the people who have actually won Grammy Awards in the past and people who have gotten massive Western recognition in the past, like people like Pandit Ravi Shankar, Pandit Vishwamohan Bhatt, Ustad Zakir Hussain, and of course me too. The thing is that all these amazing people have basically dug deep into their own roots, and they have tried to figure out what is it that defines us as Indian people, and they've played Indian music all over the world, and they've gotten recognition for that. And in fact, I've not found a single person in India who has played Western music and gotten recognition globally. So I believe that in India, this should be an encouragement to all younger musicians that please dig deep into your roots, understand what is it that makes you Indian culturally, and showcase that to the world, and you will get global recognition for that.
Oh, nice. But tell me, when there is so much of global recognition for the kind of music that we actually have, you think within the country there is as much respect for the Indian music as it should be?
That is a very, very good question. And in fact, I've got a term for that. What I call, it may be controversial, but it's what I call the Pandit Ravi Shankar syndrome. Now, if you go on the street and you ask people who is Pandit Ravi Shankar, everybody know him as being a sitar player. You ask them questions about him, everybody knows daughters are Nora Jones, Anushka Shankar, he's won the Bharat Ratna, made sitar popular all over the world. But you ask them, name one song of Pandit Ravi Shankar, nobody in India knows. Or hum one song of his, nobody knows. Or forget that, name one album of Pandit Ravi Shankar, nobody knows. So everybody know him as a personality, but nobody knows his music. And that is a problem unique to India, because if you go to San Francisco, the Bay Area, you go to New York, you ask people to hum music of Pandit Ravi Shankar, everybody knows that. And everybody knows his albums, everybody knows his songs. So that is something that needs to change in India, and I believe that the reason for this being is that that the film industries all over India have got such a huge grip on the music industry that people cannot look beyond that. So I believe that the younger generation will change that, hopefully, and it is changing slowly.
How nice to know that. Ricky, you have repeatedly been looked at as a musician from India who's recognized at the world stage for music that has international appeal. What do you think we need to do to get more and more acceptance of Indian music at the world stage, even more than what it is right now? Not just the classical music. Is there anything else that can be done? Look at the tribal music, look at the music, folk music, and all these things. Some of it I see does get used here and there, and people talk about it. But do you see a pattern emerging, or something needs to be done to do that?
Absolutely, and it's very, very good that you brought up the topic of folk music and tribal music and traditional art forms, musical art forms in India besides the classical music traditions. So I've been working with the Baul musicians in Bengal, and in fact I did this documentary along with two of my friends, which is now on the Mubi platform. So now the thing is that this particular film was 4 years in the making, where we showcased Baul musicians who are leading the life of Baul music, not just Baul musicians who are using Baul music as a genre of music, but people who are leading the Baul music life, because at the end of the day, it's a 1,000-year-old tradition. It's a beautiful tradition of empowerment. It's a beautiful tradition of people moving away from the caste system. So the thing is that we need to empower more and more of these traditional folk forms which have got a wealth of knowledge, not just in music, but in terms of lyrics, about how to coexist with nature, in terms of how to live peacefully with all human beings, with the plants, with the animals, with the elements of nature as I described. Also about how to lead your life in a very simplistic fashion. So these are all a wealth of knowledge that I think the world can truly benefit from. I've also collaborated with tribal farmers in Araku Valley, did a song called the One with Earth song. Also with tribal musicians from North Karnataka. So the thing is that I believe that these art forms need to be showcased. They need to be recorded. They need to be because at the end of the day, these art forms have never been documented because they've been orally passed down from generation to generation. And I think with digital recording technology within everybody's reach, I think we need to highlight these art forms. We need to record them and we need to showcase them to the rest of the world.
And also keep them for posterity because we might lose them otherwise.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. You've heard that, what was the gentleman who has made a full song based on just the recordings of the nature in 1 year? Remember that?
True. And I love those kind of recordings where you use sounds of nature and you create music out of that. But then again, it's an ideological difference from me, even though I love listening to that kind of music. It's the difference between taking a photograph and the difference between making a painting. Now, when you, let's say if I were to take a photograph of you, then based on the lighting conditions, based on your mood for the moment, I take a verbatim picture of exactly how you are, and that's what's documented. Whereas if I were to make a painting of you, then it's open to a little bit of interpretation where I can bring a little bit of your soul into the painting. So that's what I believe when I represent nature through music. Rather than taking a photograph and actually recording the music as it is, I prefer to use musical instruments like the flute, like the sitar, like the human voice, like an orchestra to represent the soul of what I am experiencing within nature and creating music on that. So that is the way that I prefer making my music rather than actually recording sounds and making music on that.
Oh, wonderful. Sounds good. Bhavna, I have no more questions. As I said, I just wanted to, bung in and ask a few questions, which I have done. All yours. I've been, just happy listening to his responses so far.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Ricky.
Thank you so much. An honor to actually meet you like this. Thank you.
No, it's a honor is all ours. I can tell you, our entire channel is grateful that you are there.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks to you.
Thank you so much.
Any suggestions to the Karnataka government to empower arts forms?
So, of course, I've got plenty of suggestions always, but what artists require is places to perform. So I think that what we need is some really, really good, high quality, international quality places to perform. Because if you go to foreign countries, like for example in New York, you've got Carnegie Hall. In Sydney, you've got the Sydney Opera House. So when a tourist comes to these cities, they do not care about who is performing. They just want to go to the hall to watch a performance.
Okay.
And I think that will encourage the arts in our city in a very, very big way, and in our state in a very big way, having beautiful places to perform and world-class places to perform. Second thing I would say that again, empowering tribal art forms when it comes to music, and empowering folk forms when it comes to music, where you give them a bigger stage rather than having an event and just putting them there for for flavor's sake, to show that this is the culture of Karnataka. Giving them a big stage and making them the main performers. I think that would be really important, to give them the respect of the art form. I think that would be really important. Places to perform and empowering local art forms on a big stage.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ricky Kej. It was wonderful having you in our show.
Thank you so much, and it's been an honor to speak to you again. Thank you.
So viewers, this is our proud Indian, proud Kannadiga, Grammy Award winner Ricky Kej. With this, we are ending this program. Thank you so much.
ಇದು ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿ.
ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ಸುವರ್ಣ ನ್ಯೂಸ್.